In the House of Elrond, the evil wound that Frodo received on Weathertop is healed, and he is reunited with his uncle Bilbo. But the One Ring cannot remain hidden in Rivendell for long, so Lord Elrond summons a council to decide what should be done to protect the free peoples of Middle-earth. Hello and welcome back to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, my progression-style playthrough series of the Lord of the Rings living card game. Here I am continuing my Saga campaign with the first quest from the Road Darkens box, The Ring Goes South. I'm just going to comment briefly here. Gandalf, of course, lets you play with the top card of your deck face up. If you don't know, the simplest way to do this in Octagon is to right-click your deck, go Visibility, Everybody. Technically, this puts your entire deck face up. So, in fact, say if I take this off, then I can see the next card down as well, which sometimes I shouldn't be able to. Like if I use the Wizard Pipe to swap something else on, if I'm not going to play that immediately, I shouldn't be able to see the next card down. But mostly, this is just the simplest way of doing this. I will remind you about my campaign pool carried through into this quest. Old Bogey Stories allows a deck to effectively take an extra mulligan, so long as they have at least 6 cards in their hand at the time. Valiant Warrior is making Aragorn a warrior with +1 attack. Noble Hero is making Frodo a noble with +1 willpower. The Ring Draws Them, Gildor and Glorian, and Overcome by Terror are all shuffled into the encounter deck. And Ho Tom Bombadil is added to the first player's hand during setup. Also during setup, each player may change hero cards he controls without incurring the +1 threat penalty, which I have done, bringing in Legolas instead of Balin. The players have earned the boon cards Sting, Mithril Shirt, Glamdring, and Anduril. Each player chooses one and adds it to his hand. If any of those boon cards remain unchosen, shuffle them into the first player's deck. So, okay, I will put Anduril into the hand of this deck, and Glamdring into the hand of this deck, and the other two are shuffled into the first player's deck. In future scenarios I can just include them in the decks as I would any other card. And now we are ready to move on. A bunch of stuff is set aside out of play, and the encounter deck is shuffled. Forced at the end of the planning phase. I'll come to that when I end the planning phase. Control N. Alright, so first let's play Expert Treasure Hunter onto Pippin, because it's a very good card with Hero Gandalf. And now, let's see. Fast Hitch could come in handy as... actually, looking at this... I'm just going to slightly change things. I'm going to have Glamdring in this deck's hand and Anduril in the other, because now I think actually I will pay 2 for Glamdring on Legolas. Legolas is a warrior and thus an eligible target. And that will be it for this deck. Over here, I want to save a resource for Hands Upon the Bow, but let's also give Legolas a Dunedain Mark. So Legolas is now up to 6 attack. And that will be that. At the end of the planning phase, each player places the top card of his deck face up in front of him, in player order, until there are a total of 4 face-up cards between the players. The first player chooses 1 face-up card to be played for 0 cost, 1 to add to its owner's hand, 1 to discard, and 1 to shuffle into its owner's deck. Then either shuffle Lust for the Ring into the encounter deck, or raise each player's threat by 5, advance to stage 2. So, Since there are 2 players, effectively this would be 2 cards from each player's deck. Alright. Well, I think Steward should be played for 0 cost. Onto Aragorn. Test of Will should be shuffled into the deck, since Aragorn does not yet have a spirit icon with which to play it. Which leaves me with 1 to add to hand and 1 to discard. Further intuition certainly would be helpful. So with Elrond, I'm going to discard Frodo's intuition and add Elrond to hand. And now Lust for the Ring, if we just look at the other side of the campaign card, if Lust for the Ring is attached to a hero, the players have earned that burden. Only if it's attached to a hero, so not just if it's in the encounter deck. So I'm going to shuffle it in, because it's fine, it's no problem, so long as I remove it before completing the quest. And now I advance to stage 2. The council decides the One Ring must be cast into Mount Doom. Frodo has appointed 8 companions to help him complete this quest, and the Company of the Ring sets out from Rivendell into Hollin on their way to Mordor. When revealed, make Redhorn Pass the active location. You need to play card effects. When it's explored, each player assigns X damage among characters he controls. X is the number of damage here. The first player reveals cards from the encounter deck until there is at least X threat in the staging area. X is twice the number of players in the game, so in this case, 4. Each player must choose either discard each ally he controls or raise his threat by 1 for each ally he controls. I have no allies, so this does nothing. Howling Warg, 2 threat. Snowdrifts, very annoying. Attached to the active location, cancel the condition attachment with attack limit 1 per location. No more than 3 progress can be placed on attached location each round. I'm not sure that I want this to happen, though. I don't know. I might be able to deal with it and save my test of will for something worse. Okay. So this attaches. Thematically, I suppose. Irigan, 3 threat. So that's 5 threat in the staging area, which is at least 4. Hollin is no longer wholesome for us. It is being watched. Aragorn, the first of the ring. During the travel phase, the player must travel to a location, if able. Forced, after an enemy engages a player, place 1 damage on the active location, if able. So, I should not have just hit Control N. That was completely wrong. Let's just pretend I didn't do that. And actually quest 3, 6, 8. I guess I will. No, I won't bother readying Aragorn. 3, 6, 8, 10, 12. We reveal Tree Crowned Hill and Hound of Sauron, which surges into Hills of Hollin. 2, 3, 6 additional threat. Well, that would have me making only 1 progress, but in fact, let's play Hands Upon the Bow. Legolas will attack into the staging area and kill this Hound of Sauron. Place an additional 2 progress, and then I make 1 by questing, because I can't put more than 3 progress on this location each round. I have quested successfully, so I trigger Expert Treasure Hunter and name Event. So I discard this, it's an event, so I add it to my hand. And now I am not engaging this warg. So this is the point at which I should have hit Control N. So now here we are. I'll draw this and this. Oh, and I get these resources back that I removed. Right. Okay. At this point, let's pay 3 for Galadriel and look at the top 5 cards of my deck. Well, let's see, I would like both of these, and I'll attach this Rivendell Blade to Legolas, so he now has 6 attack and ignores 2 points of defense. Right, and I suppose I have some spare resources. I have this Deep Knowledge. I'm going to play Deep Knowledge. So each deck draws 2. There's Doomed 2. Now, let's see, I definitely want one hands upon the bow. Which means I'm probably not playing Anduril. Actually, I suppose could. No, I think this is fine, and this is all this deck will be playing. Over here, let's pay 1 for a fast hitch on Frodo. And actually, no, let's not pay 1 for a fast hitch on Frodo. Let's pay 2 for Gandalf's staff on Gandalf. Exhaust it to add a resource to Fatty, and then pay 2 for Bilbo. Actually, no. Let's have Arwen. Right. So that's it for planning. So questing 2, 5, 8, 10 threat in the staging area. So let's quest for 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 14, 17, and we reveal Redhorn Foothills, and the ring draws them. I think this is okay. At the end of the phase, each enemy in the staging area engages the first player, and it surges. into a Hound of Sauron, which surges into Crabine from Dunland. We are on the second player's card here. Either exhaust a hero you control or engage Crabine from Dunland. And after it engages a player, reveal the top card of the encounter deck, which is the problematic aspect. So I will exhaust Fatty Bulger and not engage it. Now that's 3, 4, 8 additional threat. However, yeah, okay, first let's do this one. I suppose it doesn't really matter. I'm going to play Message from Elrond to move Hands Upon the Bow into the hand of this deck. And then I'll pay 1 for Hands Upon the Bow. Legolas attacks and kills the Crabine from Dunland, placing 2 progress on the quest, and exhausting Rivendell Blade for Foehammer to draw 3 cards. There is now 3 less threat in the staging area. So, yeah, I think that's fine. I'll trigger Expert Treasure Hunter and draw Take No Notice into my hand. I make 2 progress on the quest. This goes to the victory display. There's no damage, so I don't have to deal any damage. Snowdrifts are gone. And I can travel. Oh, at the end of the quest phase, while there is no active location for me to deal damage to, please engage the first player. And now I should travel, and I think Redhorn Foothills is really the order of the day. So, deal out shadows. Under the circumstances, I think I'm going to play both of my feints, so neither of these will attack. And then Aragorn, of course, is 4 attack, so he can kill the Hound of Sauron without needing any help. This is gone. At the end of the round, Galadriel will leave play, and I will play Valiant Sacrifice to draw 2 cards. And that's the end of the round. Control N. Frodo moves back over here. Draw a card. Alright. Firstly, I'll pay 2 for Fellowship of the Ring. Secondly, Gandalf's Staff, add a resource to Pippin. Pay 2 for Ranger Spikes. Over here, I will obviously put the Black Arrow onto Legolas. Once again, I want to save for... I want to save for Test of Will and Hands on the Bow. So, not sure I can play anything else. Suppose I could give Legolas another Dunedain mark, but he doesn't need it. So, that's it then. There's 3, 6, 8 threat in the staging area. And let's quest for including Fellowship of the Ring, giving +1 willpower to all heroes. 4, 8, 11, 13, 16, 19. And we reveal Gildor Inglorian, who joins the first player, and Redhorn Foothills. So there's 12 threat, I make 7 progress, I've quested successfully, so I get a message from Elrond into my hand with Expert Treasure Hunter, and 7 progress, 5, 6, 7. Now, let's see, the Howling Warg is going to attack, so that will place 1 damage on the active location. Let's see, this is a threat raise. This exhausts characters. And this discards allies. I will go for exhausting characters. Deal Shadow. Aragorn will defend. Place a damage here because of the forced effect. And Legolas is attacking for 6 and ignoring defense. So he kills it. Don't have a foe hammer, do I? Nope. Right, now I have Shadow of the Past, so Gildor is discarded at the end of the round. Frodo moves. And we control N. Right. So now let's play 2 for Shadow of the Past and move Gildor back to the top of the encounter deck. Let's play 3 for the Sword that was broken. All the willpower I can get. And that is probably it again for this deck. Over here, Wizard Pipe would be very nice. Let's play Expert Treasure Hunter from the top of my deck onto Gandalf. Let's put a fast hitch onto Frodo. Let's play 2 for Bilbo. I have forgotten whether I have any Hobbit Pipes in this deck. I do, so let's grab a Hobbit Pipe and shuffle my deck. Okay, let's put this Hobbit Pipe onto Pippin. Pay 1 for the Wizard Pipe. And I'm not sure that I want to play that Deep Knowledge, but I'm going to Wizard Pipe to put Test of Will on top of my deck instead. So, 3, 6, 10 threat. No, 3, 5, 9 threat in the staging area. Frodo quests for 5 right now. with Soul was Broken and Fellowship. So 5, 9, 13, 15, 17, 20, 24. Arwen is targeting Frodo. Questing for 24. We reveal Gildor. And lost for the ring. Okay, attached to a non-fellowship hero in play. After one ring exhausts, raise each player's threat by one. These attached heroes' willpower to 0 until the end of the round. Could be worse. I'll attach it to Fatty Bulger. Surge. Regiments of Crows place 3 damage on each active location. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I've added no threat to the staging area, so I make 15 progress. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. The players as a group exhaust X characters. I have 4 characters who aren't Legolas, so yes, this is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is explored. I exhaust Gildor, Aragorn, Frodo, and Fatty. And we advance to stage 3. Suddenly Aragorn leapt to his feet. "How the wind howls!" he cried. "It is howling with wolf voices. The wargs have come west of the mountains." The Fellowship of the Ring. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an enemy and adds it to the staging area. One of those enemies must be Great Warg Chief, if able. Shuffle the encounter deck. So, I have to know that the Great Warg Chief is in the discard pile, because it went as a shadow card. And here, there are various things. I'd like to take Hound of Sauron, because this way it won't surge. Specifically, I'm going to take the Hound of Sauron first, and then the Great Warg Chief. So the Hound of Sauron goes on the Ranger Spikes. During the travel phase, the players must travel to a location if able. After a location enters play, place 1 damage on it. After an enemy engages a player, place 1 damage on the active location if able. And, remember to shuffle the encounter deck. Oh, I quested successfully, so I can trigger both my expert treasure hunters. And now, let's see, where should I travel? I suppose Redhorn Foothills, just because they're the most threat. And I will, at this point, pay 1 for Hands Upon the Bow. So, Hands Upon the Bow adds an extra 1 attack. So Legolas is attacking for 7 and ignoring 2 points of defense, meaning 1 defense, 6 hit points. The Great Warg Chief is dead. Place 2 progress. Yeah, now I should use the Gandalf staff. Where? I suppose I'll grab a resource. I could draw a card. Now let's put a resource onto Pippin? Fatty? At the end of the round, I will spend a fellowship resource to keep Gildor in play. And Control N. Alright. So let's see. Nothing particularly useful here. Gonna play Deep Knowledge. Doomed 2, draw 2. Well, I found another Deep Knowledge. And another copy of Bilbo, and another Wizard Pipe. Short on things that are actually helpful, though I suppose I don't need a whole lot of help. I might just not play anything. I suppose let's Wizard Pipe to the test of will. And not play anything, and over here, let's go 1, 2, 3, Enduril. Yes, of course, having Enduril and the sword that was broken at the same time is thematically weird, but by the rules it's perfectly legal. So, 3, 5 threat in the staging area, and let's quest for 3, 7, 11, 13, 14, 16, targeting Frodo, actually no, targeting Aragorn, 16, 21, including bonuses from Sword, Fellowship and Anduril, 25. 25 versus 5. We reveal Hills of Hollin, which has 1 damage on it, and Redhorn Foothills, which has 1 damage on it. An extra 6 threat. I make 14 progress. 1, 2, 3. Don't think there's a way that I can make that extra point of progress, except by using Message Panel around hands upon the bow. Which I would rather not do right now. So, this is explored. There's no damage here, so I don't have to do anything. Regan or Hills of Hollin? Regan. And I'll spend the Fellowship resource to keep Gildor in play. Oh, I trigger both Expert Treasure Hunters to grab these. Oh, actually, that being the case, I will not spend the Fellowship resource to keep Gildor in play. Let's use Gandalf's Staff. Give a resource to Aragorn. At the end of the round, Gildor Leaves play. Frodo moves back over here. I'm going to shift all these across to have some more space. And Control N. Oh, no, sorry. In the refresh phase, I pay 2 for Shadow of the Past. Oh, no. No, sorry. I don't. There isn't an action window between Gildor leaving play and me drawing that Shadow of the Past. It's fine. I will, however, now play Shadow of the Past to put Gildor back on top of the encounter deck. Now here, let's play 3 for Galadriel. And top 5, no attachments. Actually, no. Yeah, that's fine. And let's see, anything else? How much do I need for this? 11. Yep, that's fine. So I guess that's it. And over here, I could play Sting. I'm going to use Gandalf's staff to draw a card. Okay, let's play those ranger spikes off the top of my deck. Right, and now let's Wizard Pipe that Unexpected Courage into my hand and put Test of Will on the top. Pay 2 for Unexpected Courage on Legolas. And also pay 2 for Sting on Frodo. So, 2, 4, 8 do it in the staging area. That's quest 4, 7, 9, still targeting Frodo. 15, 6, yep, 15. 20, 24. And reveal Gildor. And Howling Wild, which lands on Ranger Spikes. So 16 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should not have targeted Frodo with Arwen. I didn't think that through. Never mind. Pursued by evil wargs and fell weather, the Company of the Ring decides to enter the mines of Moria. But as they seek the hidden gate, a foul creature seizes the ring-bearer with one of its many groping arms. When revealed, make Doors of Durin the active location. Add Watcher in the Water to the staging area. Discard all tokens from the ring-bearer and place it and each card attached to it face down under Watcher in the Water. I'm just going to put them over here. There can be 2 active locations. During the travel phase, the players must travel to a location if able. Forced, after an enemy engages a player, place 1 damage on each active location. If Doors of Durin is explored, the players win the game. And the Watcher is indestructible and immune to player card effects, cannot leave the staging area, but is considered to be engaged with each player. Forced after placing the 6th damage here, the first player takes control of the ring bearer, exhausted with 1 damage on it. Oh, and I trigger both expert treasure hunters and draw 2 cards. So then, in the travel phase, I'll travel to the Hills of Hollin, and I will play the Daemon's Runes, draw 2, and discard Gandalf's Staff. So, yes. The Watcher is considered to be engaged with each player, so it will attack each player during the combat phase. Let's... Okay, so I'm throwing Galadriel onto the boss. Undefended damage, it's not undefended. She's dead. Since Frodo and Fellowship of the Ring are currently face down, technically, onto the Watcher, Fellowship's text is not in play, and so it's not discarded, I think. And yes, I'm going to play Valiant Sacrifice to draw another 2 cards. And over here, Bilbo. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack after this one. Right. Okay. Didn't bring any shadow cancellation because I figured I wouldn't be having that much combat. So Bilbo's dead. Aragorn will defend as a sentinel. Defending player discards a non-objective attachment he controls. Okay, I'll discard this Hobbit pipe because I'm not actually using it. Aragorn has 3 defense thanks to Anduril, so he takes 3 damage. He is also 5 attack and could immediately attack back with Anduril, but it has 5 defense, so that wouldn't do anything. However, Legolas is 3, 5, 6 attack, and I'll add the Black Arrow to the victory display to put him up to 11 attack until the end of the phase, meaning that he deals 6 damage to the Watchman in the water. And after placing the 6th damage here, the first player takes control of the Ring Bearer, exhausted with 1 damage on it. So, that's that. Discard this. At the end of the round, Gildor lose play. And control it. And Frodo is back over here. Now, if we decided that Fellowship was discarded, then of course I could replay it with Gandalf's Staff adding the extra resource. So it's not a massive deal if that interpretation was wrong. Let's Wizard Pipe. Warden of Healing up here, so that Gandalf can pay for it. And over here, let's see. Let's pay 2 for Shadow of the Past. Put Gildor back on top of the deck. And that will be all. Actually, no. No, let's then pay 3 for Galadriel again. Yeah, that's fine. So, 2, 6, 11 threat in the staging area. I have to place progress on the Hills of Holland before I can do the Daughters of Durin, so I need a total of 13 progress. So, 5, 9, 12, 14, targeting, yeah, I don't know, we'll make it further. And sneak attack, Elrond, discarding Lustful Ring. So I was up to 14, 19, 23, 27, 31. And we reveal Gildor and Hand of Sauron, which surges into Cribine from Dunland. Either exhaust a hero you control or engage Cribine from Dunland. So I will exhaust Legolas. Then that's message from Elrond, Hands upon the bow, and then play Hands upon the bow. So kill the Cribine. Meaning that I've added 1 threat. Exhaust the Warden of Healing to heal Aragorn. And I think that's all I need to do. So 31 against 12, I make 19 progress. This is explored, I have 8 extra progress that I don't need, and I have won the game. Yeah, so that worked out. It's interesting that you can kind of build for this in such a way that you don't have to deal with a lot of the nasty stuff, because all the damage to locations happens when you engage enemies. So if you load up on ranger spikes and hands upon the bow, or I suppose Dunhere could also do it, but then you'd have to be doing Dunhere all the time in campaign mode. Shadow of the Past continues to be amazing with Gildor. And yeah, this worked incredibly well for me. Like I said, Lust for the Ring, really not that bad. Just sneak attack Elrond right before you finish the quest. Gandalf, incredibly useful, of course. Never got to use Hobbit points. As well, I didn't have that much threat reduction, it was more sort of speculative. Yeah, there are 3 copies of Gladwell's Greeting in there, because I figured it might have come to a situation where I'd have to worry about engagement costs. These would have engaged me at this point, because they get -5 for each enemy in the staging area, so they're down at 30, well 33 factoring in Pippin. Of course, I also could have used Take No Notice to push them up to 38. Yeah, so that all worked out. As I pointed out, Lust for the Ring, not attached to a hero, so I have not earned it. And I have earned Sting, Mithril Shirt, Glamdring, and Gyril. So I'll be making use of those in future. Yeah, nothing really more to say. Moving on to Journey in the Dark next. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.